Welcome to the Applied Ethics in Healthcare course. I'm Dr. Brenda Howard, and I'll be your instructor for this course. Please call me Brenda. And I got interested in ethics because of some of my experiences in clinical practice where I was having what's called moral distress and having a hard time figuring out what it is I could do or where my resources were. So I did some investigating. I took an ethics course. I began teaching here at University of Indianapolis, and I also became the member at large of the American Occupational Therapy Association Ethics Commission, and eventually the chair of the Ethics Commission, and served for 8 years on the Ethics Commission in either of those two roles. So I've been able to learn a little bit about ethics and how to manage ethical issues in practice, and found that really practicing with making sure your mind is ready to manage ethical issues, having that prepared mind, is something that can really help. And the literature backs that up as well, that the more we practice with these ethical issues, the easier they become to manage and the less morally distressing they become to us. So whether you're a future or a current practitioner, I know you're here because you're concerned about the ethical future of your profession and of all of healthcare. And I believe that people that go into this work in healthcare do so because they care deeply about making a difference in people's lives, and they don't go into it because they want to be unethical. But sometimes the choices are difficult. How do we go about making the choices that we make when we're confronted with these ethically challenging situations, which we're always going to have happen because people are unpredictable, right? So it's going to be an issue our whole careers. So let's do a few housekeeping items as we get started. This course is in a seminar format, which means I'm not going to be lecturing. What you put into this course is what you're going to get out of this course. You're going to be a self-directed learner in this course. There are 7 modules. As you go through the course site, you're going to click on the card or the tile, which will take you to the page for each module that we have. So if you start on the home page of the course, you'll see all the different tiles. Click on the one that is the unit that you want, and you'll be able to look for everything on those pages that you need for each lesson, so each module. So on each module, you'll have readings, you'll have assignments that you're going to be doing, and you can find out information on those assignments both in the syllabus, which there will be a tile for the syllabus as well, and you can also find it under the assignments tab. So the syllabus you can find by going to the overview of the course as well. So if you click on contents and click on overview, you can find the syllabus there as well. So each module is going to have 3 assignments. First, there is a reading response, and this is where it's really important that you actually do the reading, because you're not going to get out of it what you want to learn in this course unless you take a look at that reading. So there's a reading response, which is a few questions to answer that you're going to be doing in the discussions tab, because then we will have a discussion amongst all the people that are in the class to kind of further our knowledge in that area. We're going to learn from each other. Then we have a learning activity, which will sometimes be individual and sometimes be done as a group or in pairs. And then we'll have a module wrap-up, which will be a chance for you to take what you've learned and reflect on it and think about how you're going to put that into practice. So the readings, again, are the heart of each module, and your engagement with them is going to determine how much you get out of the course. The learning activities are going to put the concepts from the reading into practice, and then that module wrap-up is going to help you consolidate your thinking, reflect on what you've learned, and how you're going to use it. So the discussion tab is how you're going to submit the reading responses, and then everything else is going to be going under the assignments tab. But if you ever have a question about that, just look at the module for each week, and it will have it outlined for you on the module page. Also, there is a final assignment instead of a final exam. And on this final assignment or project, you're going to demonstrate having met the course objectives. So please read the rubric for that carefully. I will put that under a tile labeled rubrics so that you can find that. And in this final presentation, you can present it in any format that you want. You can create a PowerPoint and record a lecture. You can write a paper. You can just talk and record yourself. any number of formats. You can create a song and dance if you want to, as long as it meets the rubric requirements. That's fine with me. So please see that rubric and read it carefully for any more information about that final assignment. So what are we going to do in this course? What do we hope to get out of it? Well, my goal for you is that you're going to come away empowered to take on the ethical challenges that you will inevitably face in healthcare. Specifically, our objectives are we're going to learn about the theories, the philosophies, the principles, and the frameworks that are required for ethical decision making. And you might say, why do we have to learn those things? Well, what are you basing your ethical decisions on? My guess is it's some combination of your values and of the context of the situation. The more we can make that something that we can give language to, that we can articulate, that we can then manipulate in our minds, the easier it is for us to actually work through ethical problem solving. It's when we don't have a good handle on what are the values that are in question here, what are the ethical principles that are in competition. When we don't understand those things, then it's harder for us to make a decision. It becomes easier when we're able to articulate it. So we'll first learn that background. Then we're going to look at what are some of the contemporary issues in healthcare that are being faced overall. And then we're going to take it more down to sort of our daily level. What about applying those ethical principles, values, different frameworks for ethical problem solving? What if we applied them to our everyday scenarios that occur? And we'll call those ethics cases or ethics case scenarios. So hopefully by the end, you're going to be able to analyze those different principles, apply them to your situations, and then evaluate. How well did that go? Did you want it to come out that way, or did it come out differently than what you wanted it to? But it is my deep desire from this course to equip you to be able to handle the necessary skills, knowledge, and resources to handle ethical issues, and having a prepared mind in order to do that. So rather than focus on each individual issue in this course, I've focused more on how to navigate the issues and how to use the principles and theories to come across any issue and manage it. Because, as you know, times are constantly changing. New issues arise all the time. New technologies force changes in how we think about ethics. So it isn't about learning all the different issues and what to do in each case, but it's about learning how do we manage ethical issues in general. So I hope you're excited. Let's get started with the course.